So at the Corporate Counsel Exchange, you're leading a roundtable discussion on managing IT in the legal department and the data security and IT issues that bring that about. So firstly, could you please explain your role within Juniper and how technology plays a role within the legal department?
My current role at Juniper is the head of legal for what we call Europe, Middle East and Africa. Part of the European management team supporting our commercial business, responsible for a small legal team of 5 people in total distributed across Europe. We focus on commercial transactions and compliance and very little litigation. In Juniper we only have a limited use of technologies, which was interesting for me because I came from a place, my previous company, which used technology across the board in the whole of the legal function. So I've seen how it can be done, and we're currently at the sort of starting phases, because Juniper is still a relatively small and young company, of implementing new technologies.
So what types of technology do you think add value to a general counsel's role, and why do you think these add value?
So there's a variety, and some, I guess, are pretty obvious, like contract management systems, which provide the ability to manage your contractual relationships with suppliers as well as customers. So you have an overview of which contracts are expiring, what sort of issues you may have agreed to in these contracts, and you can run reports on it. Other systems which I found very valuable in the past is systems which allow you to share knowledge amongst the legal in-house community, or to share knowledge with your outside counsel law firms who have very extensive knowledge-based systems that they can provide access to your in-house legal department. So those collaborative tools can be very useful as well. Other tools which are very useful are e-discovery systems, which allow you to track relevant information within the company if and when needed. For instance, when there's a litigation pending and you need to have quickly access to the relevant information. So there's a lot of variety of systems available, and this market is still developing.
And why do you think general counsels find it hard to find the right contract management solution?
Because it's very complex, actually. It's probably one of the more complex systems you have within your organization. There's a lot of choice, and sometimes they are linked into other systems as well, like your financial and accounting systems. At Juniper, we've just made a selection for this new contract management system, which is linked to a corporate-wide decision to move to a new ERP system. So we've selected SAP. As part of that, there is a contract management module. So in fact, that has actually made the choice for the law department relatively easy, because we didn't have a choice. But the variety of choice and the variety of complexities available on the market, all with different prices attached to it as well, do make it pretty complex. And you have to make sure it works for your business. And this is always the problem when you buy an off-the-shelf solution in the market. It may not quite fit your needs.
And why are general counsels reluctant to use technology to manage data and contract management?
It comes from a general concern, I think, around the security of the data. And it's these days you're never quite sure, does it sit on a server? Where does the server sit? Is it in the cloud? Is the data moving across borders? Is it well protected? This is where the legal department needs to work very closely with the internal IT people, because obviously you're always going to use it within the own entire IT environment of your own business and your own company. So security is a big issue. And I can imagine if you're having your board minutes or information regarding potential acquisitions, sitting within the legal department, as you often do, because legal will have knowledge of board minutes and those plans. Where do you keep them safe? Is it just stick them on a server, or have them outside in an outsourced solution? So I can see that concern being a very viable one.
What part do you think legal technology vendors play in the current market? Do you think they're supplying the right types of technology and tools, or do you think there's any gaps currently?
I think there's been a huge transition in this market. I mean, 10, 12 years ago, there was not much available outside in the market. Today, you have a wide range of solutions providers. We talked about contract management already. A variety of these solutions are available also through well-known names like Oracle and SAP offering contract management solutions. So a lot of it is available. E-discovery systems are offered on the market as well. What is probably not there yet, although I see some providers going in that direction, even the sort of typical outsourcing providers like Infosys offer now an outsourced solution for law departments, but sort of the one-stop shop, right? Let's say, as in our case for Juniper, small law department may not necessarily have the funding or the resources to work with a multitude of different suppliers. If you want to sort of have a small suite of technology products from one vendor, it's kind of hard to find that today.
So over the next 5 years, do you think more general counsels will embrace technology? And also, what do you see as the main challenges when it comes to using technology in the legal department going forward?
So first of all, I think they will have to. And all general counsels face the same issue today, and that is they have to do more with less, right? They're all having budgets being cut or not being grown. Still, they have to do more. They have to do more in terms of supporting the actual business, provide more guidance on compliance or compliance training. So generally, they just need to do more, but with less resources to do it. So they will have to use technology to find different ways of doing it, to sort of use systems that provide the more basic work can be done by an outsourced company, for instance, using technology. One of the biggest challenges, however, though, is, and there's two, I think. There's two. One is actually a cost, because before you can save cost, you will have to invest money to use the technology, and the money isn't necessarily always available. Secondly, I think traditionally there is a reluctance amongst a lot of in-house lawyers to use technology. They're let's be honest, they're very set in their ways, and they would like to keep working in a certain way, and that's not always possible, because if you have a proper legal tools and technologies in your department, they will change the way that the people are working today. And that's not necessarily an easy, like any change process, it will have to be carefully managed, because it's not always straightforward.